Something flew under the radar. Something happened a few years ago that no one noticed, and nobody seems to want to talk about it. You can search high and low, but you can't find anyone anywhere who covered it. In March of 2024, the SD61 school board hired a small EA named Joshua Martins to teach the students at the increasingly popular Central Middle School. Now, by mid-2024, being an EA was hotter than ever. Every adult in their 20s or 30s was cashing in, and then quitting after realizing how brain-rotted the kids are in Victoria. After the school board was formed, they bought 10 Xbox 360 game consoles and subsequently got fired because the PlayStation 3 and Wii U were better at playing Child Teaching Simulator. Meanwhile, a young Dave Shortreed was helping them buy iPads and even Chromebooks for the schools. But fans of Central knew something was missing. And it wasn't so much if they were going to get it, but rather when. Well, let's take a step back. It all started in November of 2007, when SpaceX CEO and billion-dollar muskrat Elon Musk first met young Luke Postel in person at a SpaceX press event. The two bumped into each other, where they bonded over Russian vodka and spoke of the current state of the education industry, expressing thoughts on how to let kids launch rockets on the field and not get fired. The two hit it off and, while parting ways to fulfill other business relations during the expo, exchanged phone numbers and kept in contact. Within a week of their meeting in that hour, Luke made $26 per hour and Elon made $125 million in the same hour, meaning Luke is super poor, I guess. Anyway, Luke and Musk began discussing the possibility of rockets being brought to Central's big field. Certainly, a proposition as such would be beneficial to both parties. Both the American Rocketry and Aerospace Company and Central possessed massive meme potential, and flying dangerous rockets during school hours would result in nothing but colossal profit. It all seemed like a no-brainer. But who would launch them? SpaceX couldn't do it. They were too busy putting all their resources into buying Twitter and turning it into X. And Mr. Shortreed had his hands full, being in meetings and educating kids. It would be difficult to find another person to trust with a project as massive as a space program, so Musk just put the partnership on the back burner. Well, that was until January of 2025. Let me introduce you to a little man named Skibbity Joshidi, or Josh. Josh is best known for his exemplary work on the Challenger space shuttle that exploded, along with other great credits such as the development of the Apple Maps app, the Bill Clinton affair scandal,
these allegations are false,
and the creation of the Imperial Measurement System.
Stupid.
But in 2022, Josh founded the Small Rocket Development Studio, Friendly Canadians Who Love Green Rockets, or the FCGR. Josh and his company had just launched the Rizzy Cole rocket to moderate success, but now they were ready for a challenge. You see, Josh and Luke had met in Milwaukee, Wisconsin years beforehand, where they bumped into each other at a local bar. The two became quick friends, bonding over their love for game development and carpentry. And now in 2025, Luke was looking to rekindle old friendships. He reached out to his now successful pal Elon, and little did he know, he had reached out at the perfect time. You see, after struggling with launching rockets in a $1 million test pad owned by NASA for a long time, he needed someone to help him launch rockets at a middle school instead. This is where Luke recommended his old pal Joshidi. On January 5th, 2025, Joshua Martins agreed that he and his company, FCGR, would begin developing a new rocket. And after long and tedious planning, it was official. Elon's Falcon 67 rocket would finally be making its way onto Central's field. So without wasting any more time, let's dive into the nitty-gritty of Falcon 67's unorthodox development and unfortunate fate. Development started on a cold winter's night in January of 2025. Josh and his team of 9 got to work on designing a rocket. Now, if you're familiar with rockets, you'll know they're notoriously difficult to design. One small error and they will explode or fly off course. Even the Challenger space shuttle, also designed by Josh, famously flopped and exploded, causing developer NASA to pause launches for 2 years and fire Josh. So a successful launch of the most scuffed rocket in the world would be no easy feat. Lucky for Josh, he had a 2 of spades in his back pocket, 13-year-old autistic rocket man Van de Paul. Together, they were able to get some cardboard and wooden tubes and begin making a Falcon rocket. Things were looking up. Development was continuing smoothly, while Elon was able to keep his focus on his growing baby-making business. But there was a problem. Something major was about to change. By February of 2025, the rocket was on track to launch next week. But development was halted abruptly, and that was all due to one surprise factor. SpaceX was being bought by well-known developer Microsoft. This transition cut a lot of ties from the aerospace giant, and it looked as though Josh and his company were bound to cease their partnership. At this point, Josh was unable to let go of his work. Elon and Luke had both been frustrated with Josh for a while, as development had been taking much longer than expected. And much to the chagrin of both, Falcon 9 and Tesla sales faced declines after Elon Musk struck an edgy pose in front of some teenagers. But still determined, Josh pushed through, hoping for a March launch date. By February 6th, Microsoft had announced they would be finalizing their purchase of SpaceX on March 7th, meaning Josh was almost out of time. But after non-stop crunching, Josh and his company finally put Falcon 67 edition on the launch pad on March 6, 2025. Yes, it was finally here. And the next day, Microsoft completed their purchase of SpaceX, and officials removed the rocket in the middle of the night. That was it. Yep, after all that work, Josh's hard work had been erased from history. Well, not exactly. You see, FCGR developed 4 different rockets, and you may be saying to yourself, well, these versions aren't lost. You can find scraps of Falcon 67 Meme Edition, Falcon 69 Meme Edition, and Falcon Mewing Edition on every Amazon and eBay listing in the world. And while you're right about that, one of them wasn't grabbed. One of these rockets was never preserved. And Josh and his company to this day have never been able to salvage an archive of this rocket or any of its parts. And that is none other than Falcon 6.7, Central's most obscure rocket. And while it's been lost to time, footage of it still exists. So let's give it a look. But first, a word from this video's sponsor, the well-known plant, corn.
From the earth I rise, and to the earth I one day will return. What's up, mother shuckers? My name is Colonel Cornelius Cornwall, and I'm here today to introduce you to corn.
A big thanks to Corn Incorporated for sponsoring this video. Now let's turn to the rocket. As it takes off and immediately goes off course, we can only applaud the sheer genius and innovation of our time. These visionaries, truly ahead of their era, crafted a rocket that breaks the mold by breaking the flight path. It's an act of brilliance, really, to engineer a rocket that defies conventional stability. Cole and Alex, these modern-day Da Vincis knew exactly what they were doing. It's not just a rocket going off course, it's a testament to thinking outside every box. Their brilliance is practically beyond comprehension, so much so you'd think I'm reading this under duress. And yet, here we are.
Due to some technical difficulties, we'll have to have a different person continue this video. Sorry about that.
Some say Falcon 67 may have been the best rocket ever if given a little more time and money. But as history shows, Lady Luck was not on their side. To this day, fans and influencers continue to defend and praise Cole and their actions, despite the only thing being required to fully comprehend how terrible they all are is a double-digit IQ. Maybe in another life, in another timeline, we'd all be watching Space-Y launches right now on our self-driving Edison Cyberducks. But since Elon has discontinued the Central Space Program, this is a future we'll probably never see. If you have scraps of Eagle 6.7 or any knowledge about it, please help preserve it. Don't let this rocket fade away like Shore Reed wants it to. Remember the efforts of Josh and his team and the brave things he did just to give fans a new rocket. None of us would be here right now if it wasn't for Josh. And for that, I think we owe this man a thanks. If you're watching this video, send a thanks to Josh on Instagram. Whether you're watching this video an hour after it comes out or 10 years from now, reach out to Josh and thank him for his work. I think it would truly make his day to see fans so dedicated to his incredible work. So if you have the time, let him know you're grateful. Thanks for watching. I'm Maria, the replacement of the other voice actor. Please don't kill my family, and thank you for watching this video. Now send a thanks to Josh on Instagram, or you may not get a subscriber. And if you don't, well, a spider might just appear in your bed tonight.